Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Welcome back, Journeymen Lounge podcast listeners. This is the Journeymen Lounge podcast. We got Woj, the great, the powerful, the all-knowing. We have Ryan.
LL Loves.
Rocking a Noah jersey. It's pretty dope.
One of my favorite bulls.
Joakim, no, give me that shit, Joe.
I actually wanted to wear elastic for the Uncle Buck pod because he has all that Chicago stuff.
Yeah, he does.
I came straight from golf, so I just had to wear the dope polo either way. But it was
You
a
went,
good look.
you went with the
way.
golf outfit. It makes sense.
And I went with White Boy Summer. That's kind of the
Yeah,
motif.
you do. Has anybody told you kind of look like Chet Hanks?
No, I haven't got that.
I just noticed that right there.
Is there a similarity, huh?
A little bit like Chet Hanks.
Who?
That's Tom Hanks' other son.
Oh, I know Colin Hanks was going to say. I don't know.
The guy who speaks in Jamaican.
Oh, didn't know that. I know
Dude,
he has
look,
a son.
hey, when we get
I'll
done
have
with
to
the
Google.
podcast,
Yeah, Google it.
look
Paul,
at
image.
like Paul Rudd and I
Ooh,
Love You,
put
Man.
that in. Put that in. Do it like image, and then scan back to this.
All right, we'll put a side by side of Bobby and Chet Hanks now.
And then,
And then-
throw Paul Rudd in there. Slap some bass.
Paul
I
Rudd.
don't look like Paul Rudd, dude.
No,
I
but the
don't.
whole Jamaican white guy
Jamaican.
thing. Yeah.
Slap some bass.
Hang on. No, he was going. He's like, what is that? Irish?
Sounds more Irish.
Yeah. All right, boys. Let's get into it here. Let's do a little bit of NBA playoff kind of update. Everybody who's seen the last couple episodes knows my feelings about the NBA playoffs are dog shit, but I am looking over the horizon, and the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals was actually pretty good. Went to overtime. I like Minnesota and the Mavs in the West.
That'll be a great
That should be
matchup.
a great series. Let's wait for the refs to fuck it up, though, is kind of my opinion. Ryan, thoughts?
Are you new to the NBA? This has been going on since forever, since Magic and Bird and Jordan. The refs always have an influence on
Yeah, that's
the
your
NBA.
underlying theme, dude. For the past couple of weeks, quit your bitching at this
Okay.
point.
No.
No.
Well,
Shut your
I would
whore
just,
mouth.
I would just say, to be fair, also, I haven't
To be
really
fair.
been able to watch the games like you have, so I don't know what calls you're seeing and not seeing. But I know
Yep.
historically, the refs always play a factor, especially in NBA games.
Absolutely true. I agree with that. What I'm saying, though, that happened in regular season, I kind of expect that to happen, where you get a game that's like, this shouldn't be a blowout, but it ends up being a blowout. They didn't call fouls for like 6 minutes. Team ran up 20 points. Game's over, right?
Yeah.
In the playoffs, though, I expect the refereeing to be, these are the best refs of the regular season.
What is happening that is upsetting you? What specifically?
A lot of no calls.
There's
right?
a clear evidence of a team having some sort of way of talking to the officials in the first half, first quarter, what have you, and then there are no fouls called against the other team. I'm sorry, on your like when your guys are driving, they're getting hacked at the line at the cup, and there's no call.
So you're saying they're not calling it both ways?
It's just, again, I've seen it in a couple different ones. The Denver game, Denver series.
Well, Denver shit the bed. You're up 58-38 with 11 minutes left in the third quarter, and then you drop
Timberwolves
that.
Came back. All I'm saying, though, is that, again, consistency is what I look for. If they are playing very physical, I get that you can't call a foul every single time, but it was such a large disparity. I mean, the one team I'm forgetting right now, they sent something to the league. They go, hey, the foul disparity was like 78-42 or something
Wasn't
like that.
the Denver game against
Maybe it was the Denver game?
The Denver, yeah.
The last round, the round
Yeah, the
before
Minnesota, where Minnesota was already in bonus like early in the third. They were just like racking up fouls on the other end. So.
Which also, let me just point out, what does submitting shit to the league do? It's not going to mean dick. They're not going to overturn the
investigate.
results.
Take a look.
Ideally, next game you're going to get more calls your way. That's kind of how, it's like
complaining.
It's like working the refs, like Phil Jackson used to do kind of thing. It's like, you don't get the calls maybe now, but next game, hopefully you made such a stink that Or it could backfire, though. It could
That's
go
what
the
I'm
other
saying.
way. It could go where they call more against you. I don't know. Either way, ideally, you just got to call it both ways. If you're going to call, a lot of fouls, ticky-tack shit, then make sure you call it even amount. If you're not going to call it, you're going to let the boys play, then let them play both ways. You got to call it fair either way. Any player would want that.
That's all that I'm looking for,
Yeah.
and it has not happened to the NBA playoffs. And again, I'm just not expecting it to be
again though. This
fixed.
is always. It's every year. This is a topic of conversation for the players. Always happens.
I just haven't seen it this egregious in the playoffs.
like
Last year, I don't think it was this ridiculous.
One thing, hold on, just for any team to take the refs out of the equation, the reality is don't commit turnovers, crisp passing, and, good field goals, not constant 3 points. If that is the source of your team's, total points, you're suspect because all it takes is a cold streak. But if you could work the ball, crisp passing, not turning the ball over, you're giving yourself a chance. I mean, you might not have the greatest percentage, field goal percent, but at least you're not giving them the free, here you go.
Defense in the NBA is also just.
It's
we're
dog.
not going to go into
It's
that.
dog,
It's just, it's so bad. There is no defense any longer. Minnesota's given a little bit. They were like first in the NBA in defense, but that basically means hey, you didn't give up 120 points every game. Good job. Good job.
Right. We come to expect games to literally, everyone get over the triple-digit mark at this
Triple
point.
digits.
a lot of chucking going on too. Not liking that either.
It's again, this is what we will
We're
do.
just complaining.
But
left
this is
and
what
right.
we will
I
do.
love
Again,
it.
I know we sound like old men, but it's
But I think this is what's going to happen is that as we continue on decades down the road, and we're still doing the Journeymen Lounge podcast when we're 80 years old, I think we'll be saying kind of similar shit about the NBA, reliving kind of in the glory years of what we thought the late 80s, early 90s, Jordan aside. I think it was the best mix kind of hey, there's these guys, and I take not 100%, but I take some of these guys that aren't the most athletic. There are some that make them very athletic. Some of the people shouldn't have been in the league, but it made games close. I rarely remember teams getting blown out consistently of hey, this team is the worst team in the league. They're going to lose by 45 points every night. That's what happened in today's NBA. Whoever the Hornets were,
that's a good equivalence.
30 points. The game seemed closer. Again,
there's a lot of different factors and things for that.
Give it a 1 minute spiel.
Okay, well,
sorry,
I would
don't mean to cut
say
you off quick.
people coming up now definitely shoot more threes and are more just willing to just be chuckers and not pass the ball, working around. There's little to no post game like there used to be in the 80s and 90s.
That's true.
There's less physical. You can't foul or play as hard of defense, or fouls are called more.
You can't hand check them that far back.
Can't hand check that one.
And just when those old guys were playing, 3-pointers weren't as important of the game. It was part of it, but it was it just got added in the early 80s.
Yeah.
So it wasn't they grew up watching that. So it's they, every generation is going to have the benefit of hindsight of watching every other, to improve on certain things or get worse at certain things or change the game, whatever. But I definitely prefer obviously the 90s and I would say the 2000s, the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
I was just gonna also put that
the
in.
best time, the best blend of basketball, where it's athleticism, but physicality and still post game, yet 3-point shooting. There was a little bit of everything, and it was more even too. The teams and stuff, no super teams as much.
Not until you got into the mid 2000s, later 2000s is when it turned. So all I would just say to kind of wrap that up is the athleticism though. I think we were able to see kind of at its infancy of now everybody's fucking athletic, and every team can kind of play and compete.
You got Luka and Kyrie; those guys, terrific athletes.
But again, I'm talking about 90s.
No, I know, I get that. I'm just saying, guys like that, I think would still do well in the mid 90s.
Dude, Luka, Luka looks like he eats a fucking bologna sandwich.
He
and
doesn't.
Smokes a cig before.
Right,
the
no,
game,
I'm just
and
saying he
he's all
doesn't
right,
look the
this.
part in terms of a physical strength, but the guy knows how to play ball.
I also think the more this basketball goes on, the more shit they can get away with traveling and
traveling is
offensive
not even called
moves,
anymore.
switching pivot foots and things like.
I don't like that.
When we were growing up, I'm like, that'd be a travel, but now they're doing it, and I'm like, that's not a travel. I don't know.
Well, the refs just don't call us like goddamn Harlem Globetrotters
Yeah.
out there. But again, the we'll kind of touch on the basketball playoffs. I think a little bit, maybe when it gets to the championship round as well. I'm sure we'll have a way of thinking, but some of these things that we're talking about, I think they're pretty stagnant. It's like, this is never going to change. This is how the reffing is. All this shit. They're trying to invigorate the game. More points, more fucking all this bullshit. But moving on from basketball, Bobby, let's talk about the golf.
Yeah, we'll do a quick recap.
Real quick, because you were just talking about
PGA Championship, Xander with a
Schauffele.
negative 21, Bryson DeChambeau with a negative 20. Imagine being negative 20 and you lose a tournament.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many times that conversation comes up.
20, holy shit.
So, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Schauffele's approach when he's
Pre-game
about
routine?
to pregame or before he strikes the ball. He does like kind of a check 10 plus different times.
Every golfer out there knows exactly what you're referring to.
Yep.
Is the approaching the ball with the club and you're
Right.
getting set and just set.
He just
and-
keeps
and,
resetting,
you got to reset,
resetting.
and then reset, and then reset. And at
A
a certain
lot-
point, you go,
Rate of play, rate
Yeah.
of play, rate of play.
hit the fucking
No,
ball, man.
that's actually a lot of the issues with this California native Xander is like people that play with him are like, dude, I could go out, get a hot dog, come back, and he'd still be kind of setting up his putt
Fuck that.
Man, I just feel like when you golf, it's like you take 2 practice swings
and just get
and you
after.
get up to the tee and you fucking rip it.
That's why I
Also-
love Daly. He just walks up there. He doesn't give a shit.
But
He
also, in regards to what Ryan said, though, there is a point where if the shot is beautiful, I'll allow you to take an extra 10, 15 seconds of like, oh, let me look at this again or whatever. Then you pure a shot, no problem. It's the guys, though, that ruin it if they go up to the ball, okay, shank 10 yards, then they go up to the ball, readjust, and go, okay, I'm like, it's probably not going to be any
It's
better.
not going to change
Like,
the outcome
just
of this.
look
yeah.
at where you need to go and then hit. And once you're at the ball, you're at the ball. Like
But clearly this works because he's always been in contention for all the majors. He's always within the top 20, so we can't give him shit. I mean, it works. It's just what a headache to deal with. And then Scotty got arrested. So Scotty Scheffler, if you guys haven't seen this, I'm sure there's a bunch of memes out there. There's a bunch of videos that I really liked. But got arrested going into, I think, Friday round 2's game for trying to just bypass an accident. I don't know all the details, but for what it's worth, he got arrested. There's charges against him right now. I'm sure that they'll be dropped at some point, or I think the Louisville PD will pursue.
My opinion on it is that he has a pass that says, hey, I am a PGA pro. I go to this. It seems to me like he was going down, being like, hey, I want to get there. I have this pass. This means I could do whatever the fuck I want on this road, because I'm assuming that this road led into the
exactly.
thing.
Yes,
And
there
there's
was
other
a fatal car crash prior to that.
And that sucks. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, to me, it seems like, hey, I got the thing that I can go up here. The cop goes, or the whatever goes, traffic cop is like, hey, you can't do this. And he's like, well, no, I'm Scotty Scheffler. He's in the wrong for sure. Like, fucking just let the guy, just explain to the guy, hey, I'm this dude, and then move on with the day.
Right.
I'm sure you would have been fine. It would have made you maybe taken 10 more minutes.
Either party would either de-escalate and try to get the facts, I think that, all these problems would be solved, and he would have the right of way to get himself into, the
Right.
golf
It could
course.
have been avoided for sure.
But it's funny because, I mean, that same day he went -5, so, maybe the clink did him well.
So, yeah, I mean, just a real brief golf update. My back has been killing me.
Yeah.
I haven't been golfing a whole lot, but I vow to get out maybe next week. And then once I'm out, baby, the Journeymen Lounge podcast listeners will have a bevy of stories, because I am a phenomenal
I'm ready to
golfer.
golf too, man. Give me a call.
But that's just a quick Woj's health update. Maybe a graphic there or
Our
something.
67 subscribers were definitely on.
Hey, they
edge
need
of
to
their
know
seats.
concerned.
But it's more about me telling you that
Yep.
I will be back on the golf course. It's just a matter of time. So, Ryan, I know that you
Yes.
picked the album, and then
Yeah.
we'll do your little movie, little tidbit after this.
Just
But
whatever you
let's
want,
get into the
man.
album review, dude. So
Okay.
what was it this week?
This week was Incubus's 2001
Morning
album
View.
Morning View. Hold on, I got my notes. Got to pull them up real quick.
It's like you weren't prepared.
No,
for the
Ryan
section.
always comes prepared. I like his level of detail.
Got the notes. Just got the wrong file up, if you will. Here it is. Okay. So released in 2001 is the band's fourth album, their highest selling album for their band. This year they're playing it exclusively on tour. So their whole tour is going to be playing this album exclusively. They also just re-recorded it. It got released, I believe, May 10th. So
Which is what I listened to
10 days ago.
for
Yeah, I
some
think
of
Woj
it.
might have listened to the wrong one, which it sounds completely different, honestly. Like the guy's voice sounds way better on this one, obviously. It's
Incubus still hits.
23
though, man.
years
Dude, yeah, I've
earlier.
seen them
Still
in
hits.
concert a bunch.
So yeah, it's re-released as Morning View 23 in Roman numerals, so XX33 or XX3. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. I'm gonna the A track, the B track thing. I'm just gonna clarify. I'm going with the A tracks as the tracks that were officially singles released in America. So that's three of songs qualify for that, which would be "Nice to Know You," "Wish You Were Here," and "Warning." So I'm going to ask you guys, out of those three, how would you rank them in your order of favorite to least favorite?
Wish You Were Here. Nice to know you. And what was the last one?
Warning.
Uh,
Whoever wants to go.
I'll go with Wish You Were Here, Warning, then Nice to Know You.
I got Wish You Were Here. Nice to know you. Then Warning.
I have the exact same order as
Did
Woj.
not like
Okay.
that song all that much.
I liked, it was close for me between "Wish You Were Here" and "Nice to Know You," but I think I just listen to "Wish You Were Here" more often. I dig that song more. I like the vibe of it more.
Wish You Were Here. To
Did
me
you guys even
just
listen to
goes-
lyrics to Warning, though? I mean, a lot of this music, let's just categorize this as chill and, state of mind type of
Yeah.
music.
Oh, yeah.
Where you maybe kind of dive back and you're not listening to the lyrics. That's why Warning, I thought, was a better song than...
Okay.
I mean,
I
that's
guess
your
on the
opinion,
surface.
man.
That's just like your opinion.
No, that's
man.
fine. That's fair. I just I'm going more. I'm not going by lyrics necessarily. I mean, I am and I'm not. Like that's part of it, but I also think it's just more of what I enjoy listening to as
No, I
far
got
as
you.
like the melody or the way his voice sounds, the way the sounds are mixed in. Which one's like when I'm listening in my car, like I'm always like, all right, that one for sure. I'm playing, turning it.
You
up
know
or
what?
whatever.
We could put on a loop. If you're getting a 60-minute massage, aqueous transmission,
Yeah,
do that
I was gonna say
7 times.
that song's not a good song to listen to when you're just driving. But if you were like taking a shower or like a steam bath or something or a
Yeah.
massage, that's
yeah,
not bad.
put that on a loop, and it'll be the right type of...
I forgot to back. Let's backtrack a little bit. I forgot to ask you
Let's
guys.
dial back.
What's your experience with Incubus? Are you familiar with them? Do you like them? Do you have any of their other albums? When did you maybe first hear them? Let's start with Woj.
Yeah, I mean, Incubus kind of really came to fame in what, 2000?
99. Yeah,
I was going to say late 90s, early 2000s.
Drive was
so.
released in 99 and their first. I'm sorry, that was their third album, Make Yourself.
Yeah, so like this is like the what I call the golden age. As I just started
Yeah, this
kind of listening to music though.
sure.
You like kind of more on your own. Like once I hit like 10, 11, I was like, oh, I want to listen to this. As opposed to before, your parents put on whatever the fuck they
Well,
wanted
you had
to
some
listen
older
to.
brothers, so you had the,
Very, very
Yeah.
true, but I also just look at it like this is in that range where like it would come on either on the radio and it would be a song that I'm like, oh shit, initially already liked the group. Like any song that they came up with, I was pretty, I was on board with. So like, again, it's kind of in that chill vibe a little bit. I think I appreciate it a little bit more now than at the time. This was probably like my hardest shit that I rocked out to. Wish you were, like, because you're fucking 10 or 11 and you're like, yeah, this is hardcore, bro.
I guess I had a different experience
Well,
with it, but I'm a little bit older than you,
Yeah,
though.
I was also
That's my
slightly
guy.
older.
Yeah, you. For me, believe it or not, this came I think right around like 7th, 8th grade for me.
Get the fuck out.
7th grade for me.
Yeah.
You said believe it or not. I'm like,
Oh.
of course I'm going to believe
I like the
this shit,
reaction.
dude.
No, my cousin JJ was into that, and
Shout
it's, right around my sister's age. I have a sister that's about 2 years older than me in school, so I got kind of exposure to bands like that, Sublime, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and this one was more geared for my cousin that introduced me into it. Listened to the album, and I've seen them in concert now probably 4 or 5 times
Wow.
down
They
in
put on
Tinley
a
Park.
good show?
They put on a great show, man. I'll say this: they're very punctual. If they say they're starting at 7, They're starting at 7 because I kind of rolled up. We were doing our own thing, and it was like 7:10, and they're already like halfway through their first song. I'm like, you got to be kidding me!
Yeah,
Like
I
a
love
band who
that.
actually is punctual on their start time.
They like what they do.
Yeah, so I like this album. I can't believe I don't own the vinyl. I will buy the vinyl sometime this week. For
Excellent.
Sure. Okay.
Awesome.
That's a promise.
That is a promise.
So for me, I definitely heard them when I was 10, but that was their other album, Make Yourself, with Drive on there. Heard Drive on the radio, and I was like, damn, this song I love this
Slaps.
song. And then these songs, the popular ones we talked about before, I heard them on the radio, and I always loved Incubus. Didn't really get into the other stuff on the album until years later when I just happened to go to like Best Buy, and they had them on sale for like $5. Picked them up, this one and Make Yourself, like I said, and listened to them both while driving a lot, and fucking love them. Love the albums, really good. Love their whole sound. Love everything. Even more, they said more than just the singles, the other stuff. The whole thing flows really well.
He's
It's
an
incredible
over
album.
Here.
I want to do my A's, B's, and skips.
Yeah,
if you
no.
don't
All
mind.
right, let me get into it.
All right.
So I'm gonna just say, I have thoughts on the B. If I could just give my thought real quick
Go ahead,
on the
knock
B's.
it.
So the B tracks is not a question. Not only is it the best B track, I think it's the best track on the album. Period. Are You In?
Love it.
My
yeah.
favorite. It was released
Love
as a single everywhere except the United States. So I don't know why.
Get out of here. That's a fun
Yeah, in
factoid.
Australia and England and whatever it was, but not here. I think it's the best song on the album. And also my thought is, we talk about order of songs on albums a lot.
Yeah.
This song should be number 1 on the album, I think.
I could agree with
I
that.
think it's a good. First of all, it's a good thing. Are you in? Like when you listen, like, are you in? Like for this album, are you into us?
I
Like,
get it.
it's
That's
a good.
kind of like on
Plus, it has
a few levels.
It has a feel of an opening song to me when I hear it.
Yeah, Nice to Know You doesn't have the same type
I think,
of
and I think
opener.
"Nice to Know You" should be the last song.
Okay.
it's-
Yeah, because I mean,
It goes on because it's nice to know you. Like you listen to our album, and also it ends with like it's kind of like a banger song, like a. It's hard,
I could also see it in the middle. I would just
For sure,
say
but
that.
I like it at
Not
the end, a
just
crisp
not-
ending.
I like
Yeah,
I like the ending for the name of the song and the way it sounds. I think it worked, but I understand what you're saying.
It's called a play on words. Is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
And then, but yeah, that was my choice. And then a close second, I would say Circles. I like Circles.
Not a fan.
Ooh, I'm Oppo on that.
You don't like Circles?
Not a fan.
Oh, man.
Are you ready for mine? I'm gonna
All right,
knock you
yeah,
through.
yeah, cool.
So everyone loves "Nice to Know You" and
Wish
"Wish
You
You
Were
Were Here," but some of my A's that I'm gonna just put out there: "Just a Phase."
Okay, so hold on. Before you get into it, you are talking about what you
Yeah.
yourself are saying is an A.
I
He's
think
talking about the
Radio.
The
I get
yeah.
that.
the A B side. He's like talking about singles released in
I
America.
think, A is more of like, the ones that you hear on the radio.
Okay,
So with-
the B's are more like if you had the album. And you were
dude, then I'm rocking B's for a lot of these.
That's what I'm
then.
saying. That's
So,
cool.
okay.
That's
So
good.
just
So-
yeah.
know that that's his
All right.
definition of that.
Yeah.
So when you say
like you wouldn't have heard these songs unless you had the album, basically. That's what the B's
Right.
are.
So there's actually quite a few I want to knock out. "Just a Phase," track 4. 11 a.m.
I love 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
I'd put a little bit deeper on that, but
love
great
that one.
Echo. I think Echo, if you guys
Echo
didn't have a
is
chance,
good.
That's
Echo was
good.
a slam. And then, I mean, "Are You In" and "Under My Umbrella." I know that's a song that's, I think "Under
like-
My,"
yeah, I like
they
that
do,
one.
but that's, go listen to those. But the ones that I'm going to, not skip or just kind of are, I know I'm going to hurt Woj on this, but "Mexico,"
it's a great song.
Second it.
and then "Circles," believe it or not. I'm just like,
Man. But I would say,
and then "Have You Ever?" That's another one that I was just like, it just, for me, the tempo was, it almost caused me anxiety because I'm listening to all this chill music, and then "Have You Ever," man, they're coming at you a little bit.
I can't believe you guys didn't like Circles. I'm pretty sure that was in like NHL 2001 or NHL.
I'm sure it might have been, but it's just
Hits
not my
or
jam.
something. I
And
love
it's
that song.
23 years ago. That's-
I know you're, spoiler alert.
No, I know, but that song's dope.
Chell,
that
I
song.
love Chell.
I'm sure it's a good song, but if you're gonna ask me, hey, what was in NHL 2001?
Well,
what
like no, I was
track?
like, that was the time when you're playing those games. all
NHL
the time.
hits, man. I love that game.
I was like 12, so that was like my life.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So I would say Mexico, 11 a.m.
Boom, Mexico.
I think both of those. Echo, I fucking really love the drum part
Yes.
and the drop. It wasn't a drop, but it was just like a huge change in tempo in that one. It was fucking awesome. What are we doing here with aqueous transmission, man?
Aqueous
I just-
transmission.
I think it's
What the
it's
fuck?
depending on where you're at. Like I said, if you were like relaxing and like
Dude, if you're zonked by the end of the album, that is the
getting
right one to end
a
on.
massage or something, or like you were in like a bath or shower, like maybe like you want to relax, that kind
Dude,
of
it's
thing.
a great relaxing song.
Why would you put it at the end of the album?
Right.
Terrible.
Bad choice
Terrible
of where
decision.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's completely way out of like it's a completely different sound than the whole other album.
Yeah, it's like from
So
Karate
it's like
Kid or
fucking
something.
here's the album, sweet spot, sweet spot. This one's fucking sitting
Left
in
field,
the
and
in
then
the
Have You Ever was right field, man.
I'm just saying it's sitting in the foul section.
Well, they like
It's
to
fucking-
experiment with some sounds.
I like
and
that though. I
things.
like that
I
I like
could
that they
kick
kind of
rocks on
move
that.
with their genre a little bit. They they explore.
I think if you're in the right mood for that song, it's good, but it's not just like one that you're gonna constantly want to have on.
Yeah.
I think that one sucked ass. Moving on.
All right.
That's fine. Yeah, I like it. I dig 11 a.m. too. I love the beginning of it where it's like the garbage truck backs up. It's 7 a.m. That shit's good. I like that. But you guys mentioned all the songs.
No, I
pretty
know
much,
the
so-
lyrics.
literally
in a
went
lot-
over
No,
every
the
single
lyrics
song,
in a
though.
lot of these songs too, man. They're telling a story. I mean, there's more to it. I mean, they got a good, nice, chill beat. But
Yeah.
take a listen.
I can't hype up enough. Are You In enough? That's like
I love Are You In.
that's like-
I keep saying to myself, ooh.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I have a list on my Spotify like my favorite repeats, and that's like number one on there. I always listen to it. Love it.
Yeah.
We will be listening to it later tonight.
But yeah, I don't have anything else. We pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know unless you guys have some other thoughts. I like the album art. I think it was cool.
That was
The
kind of cool.
beach and
Yeah,
the
you got
ocean.
the kind of the
Yeah,
rocky or like the mountainous beach.
Yeah, I read
That's
that
got to
they,
be like in Oregon or like Washington or some shit. No?
yeah, they
They're a California
said
band.
they named the album after the street that the house was on that they were recording it in.
Oh,
It was
cool.
like Morning View Avenue or something, or
It's 100% California
yeah, and they said
beach property.
yeah. They said that every time they would pull up there, oh, it's time for Morning View or something to that
Cool.
effect. So that was-
No, I mean, again, I the only thing I would kind of end on is just the time period of like that kind of chill music. I like a lot of the shit in like the mid to late 90s that is definitely like they tone it way down and like, hey, we're doing something a little slower here. I like that they do up the kind of game a little bit with like, hey, we're going to do some harder tempo. Like they are technically a rock band, but like
No, I like how
they can
yeah.
play
I
the
call
other
them
way.
chill rock. If anything,
They're like an alternative, yeah. Like I don't know.
Alternative,
They also
perfect.
they also throw in the DJ sound sometimes.
Yes, I did like that. Yeah.
I enjoy that, and they experiment with different sounds. I like their first like I don't know or whatever. I like Make Yourself through like their next like four are pretty decent. They have said they kind of go through different sounds, but they're all like good sounds.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we do another Incubus
Yeah.
album at
Yeah.
some
I
point.
was gonna say Make Yourself was definitely one worth exploring at some point.
So let's. You're all good.
I'm
Everything
good,
hip?
yeah.
And we
All
get
right.
tease.
Yeah, let's do the tease. Who's got the next one?
That'd be me.
Okay.
You got Bobby on the end. We got Dispatch, Bang Bang. Now, a lot of you folks don't know the band Dispatch, but it falls kind of in the same feel, the same kind of
Okay. Well, I mean,
tempo of like OAR or Incubus. So it's going to be a real cool vibe. I know Ryan hasn't heard of them, and I think Woj has only
I'm
heard a few
excited.
of their tracks at best, but I'm excited about that.
yeah. Okay. So we'll leave it to the next one when we
Yeah.
actually review it. Good tease in there though.
Yeah,
all
there
right.
it
So
is.
Ryan, hit me with this. You wanted to bring this up.
Yeah,
about
just quick
the,
thoughts. I just saw the new Planet of the Apes movie, and
Okay.
I just want to say in general that the franchise, like so that was with this one, the three before this, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and Warlands. It's one of the best, like quietly one of the best franchises, the most consistently best.
You're talking about the
I think,
newer movies
yeah,
that
I
came
think
out, not the
underrated.
original.
Like a lot of people don't think about it, but they're great movies.
It's the
I
shit
re-
with the monkeys.
I rewatched them in preparation for the new movie, and I saw it with my sister. The new one I thought was good, not as good as the other three, but worth watching in the theater. Cool action scenes. I kind of know the characters as well. It's like 300 years later, so that kind of aspect could use some work. But overall, I think it's worth a good summer flick if you're looking for something to watch in the theater on the big screen. And I also think check out the other movies, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn, and War, especially Dawn. It's really good. I think they're all really great movies in their own way, and they're all like different but all good.
I mean, this is. I mean, besides that Mark Wahlberg flick that I
Yeah.
thought was all right, it's a fine action movie, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is the the franchise because Planet of the Apes before was like in the 60s or something. Like
Yeah.
Charleston Heston
The
or
original.
some
You
shit.
blew it up, damn
Yeah,
you.
there's like
Damn you.
this. Yeah, there's like 10 Apes movies. There's like a lot.
Oh,
There's
of
a lot. So
definitely
I
a
mean,
lot.
this is our version. I thought it was all right. I'm not really.
I would say I know you
into
guys
it.
weren't high on it. I think
I like the plot. I like the original, the
Yeah.
one that came out a few like.
Well,
the,
it's set
the-
up everything.
If
with-
you
It's
guys,
set up everything.
If
I-
you guys have Hulu, they're all on there, like every single one. Maybe if you have time, revisit them. They're really
I love the
good.
production value in it too. I mean, they did a great job. The plot was good. Like I said, it's not my style of movie, but I did enjoy the first one. I have seen that one, so
Yeah, they're awesome.
all right, that's Ryan's shout out of
Ryan
the week.
Shatt.
Yeah, just like if you're going to the movies looking for something to watch, go
There
see
you go.
Check-
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Check it out. All right, so we are going to take a quick break here. We will be back with our movie review, which was
The
Barbarino's.
The Mummy, 1999. Brandon Fraser, The Mummy.
All right, so we're
Rachel,
gonna.
what? I can't pronounce her. last
Rachel Weisz.
name. Rachel
Okay,
Weisz.
good stuff. We'll talk about it in literally 30 seconds. So
We'll see you back,
we'll
guys.
see you.
Go get a beer.
Fuck yeah.
I need one actually. Let's go get it. All right, welcome back, Journeymen. We got
Journeymen Lounge podcast. Get it right.
There it
Get it
is.
tight.
How about welcome back to the lounge, everybody?
I like that. Welcome back to the lounge, everybody. In this segment, we're reviewing the 1999 thriller / comedy. I'm going to put it as that. The Mummy.
It's like a little horror, a
little
little
bit of
thriller,
horror, a little
adventure,
Yeah,
romance,
adventure,
romance,
sure.
action.
It checks a lot of boxes, and this is with Brandon Fraser and Rochelle Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Jesus Christ, you get it wrong every
It's
time.
I
okay.
get it wrong. I know.
It's okay.
I can't figure it out. And there's a lot of great supporting actors in this. So I'll do a quick synopsis, and then we'll
Yeah, good
begin our
luck with this.
conversation.
Let me hear your synopsis on this. It's got a fucking lot of moving parts.
All right. So if I got this right, King Seti the First had a concubine,
Anaxunamon.
Aksunamun.
Anaxu,
Aksunamun.
There it is.
Anaxunamon.
who had a secret love with the high priest Imhotep.
Imhotep.
And Imhotep and his fellow priests conspired and killed killed the pharaoh.
King
And,
Seti.
and
Seti.
Seti. And then in doing so, his lover would have been, the king's guards came in and his love and whatever I can't.
Okay,
pronounce
Bobby,
her.
let me just
Let-
take on this.
The Pharaoh's guards came in. They
Come
are
in.
called the Magi.
Right, the Magi. She stabs herself, knowing that she could be reincarnated essentially through this
By Imhotep.
Imhotep,
Right,
because of
they
him being a high priest.
He has to take her to Hamunaptra, which is the
Dead city.
City of
City of the
City
Dead.
of the Dead, to perform the
Perform
ceremony.
this ritual. Yep,
Okay,
under the statue of Anubis.
there you
All
go,
right,
Bobby. Catch us up now. Where
All right.
are we at from there?
where are we at? So fast forward. This is post World War.
No, you skipped a little bit.
What?
He's got
Okay, they get found out,
So
and
then
they
they-
get
They
They-
get chopped to pieces.
They get
mummified alive, and then
Yeah.
he's put in a separate sarcophagi with a bunch of beetles. What are the name of the
I don't know. They're
scarab-
like
scarab beetles?
humans eating beetles.
Scarab
Yes.
beetles, and then
Right.
it's locked up, and there's a curse put on it, basically equal to the Egyptian 10 plagues.
And if
he's released,
if he arises for some reason, he gets all these powers. and
right, he
things.
becomes immortal. But it's a dark curse that you're never supposed to expect to find this city. Anywho, lore. What a few 3,000 years later,
1923.
1923, Brandon Fraser and the French Foreign Legion are defending Hamunaptra from, I would want to say, locals
Yeah,
or
some
other
type of desert
desert
army.
desert local
They're
army.
they're
We don't know.
vowed to protect the land to make sure that this.
Right.
Well, those are different guys.
The Magi are separate. This is
Yeah.
a separate war that was
Yeah,
happening.
I'm talking about the guy, the Oded Farah.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the other guys that they were fighting that let Brendan Fraser live after they were freaked out because of the
Right. That was one of the first
in
scenes.
the war.
Yeah, I know who the fuck
All right.
I'm
So, anyways,
talking about. You guys are wrong.
He leaves
No,
the
we're-
bat. No,
I'm
it's
talking
fine.
about a different person. You're not talking.
All right. He's able to live through the battle, gets arrested 3 years later, and then enters the Egyptian librarian.
Rachel Weisz.
and
Wait,
her
he
brother.
enters her? Like
No.
he fucks her?
Or just no,
She
we
enters
see her
into
character,
enters
Evelyn.
into the movie.
She's a librarian.
And they are on the path to discover the city of the dead, Hymenoptera, and in doing so, they unleash this curse. This mummy comes, reincarnates itself and tries to bring back his former lover, and they are plotted to try to stop this
And
creature.
hijinks ensue.
yeah, like the 10 plagues come and
So that's a
Yo,
really
that's good.
really big-
I'm
really
sorry,
big,
Bobby. I just
unbundling.
was like, the first
there's
part
a
is
lot of things unpacked.
it's very complicated.
I'd
but
say there's quite a bit of scenes too throughout this whole movie compared to
Yeah.
some other movies. They're on location at Morocco, Marrakesh, Morocco for some of the filming, and then Arizona for the other part, and then in the studio.
okay.
Basically,
So, fun factoids.
this is like our generation's like Indiana Jones,
Right.
Or
Well, Indiana Jones came out during our time too.
Well, I would say I had a little chart here. It said Indiana Jones, then I had an arrow to Tomb Raider, then an arrow to the Mummy, then an arrow.
you know what?
then
All
an
those
arrow
adventure films came
there-
out.
then an
Bing
arrow
Bang Boom.
to the video game series Uncharted, where it's all explorers looking for treasure.
You also said that to the wrong group. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Me and AJ.
Yeah, but it's like a fun like action adventure, a little bit of horror mixed in and romance, and
It's a great film.
it's a good adventure movie.
Like I said, this came out for all you Star Wars nerds, May the 4th in 1999. So,
One of the best years in film, 1999.
and the director was walk me through the director,
Steven Sommers.
Steven Sommers. So there was a few different sequels to this as well that came, I think, soon thereafter.
Mummy
but,
Returns was 2001.
and then there was a reenactment recently.
And that was Brendan Fraser's highest grossing film, like $439 million or something. And then they, like 7 years later, released The Mummy 3, whatever that's called. I don't know what it's called.
And there was
Who
one
gives a
recently
shit?
with...
Tomb of the Dragon or some shit. I
Yeah.
never saw it. I don't
Enter
know.
the Dragon. No,
I never
just-
saw
No,
it.
that's
that's
a good-
Bruce
that's-
Lee, but yeah. Anywho, we're going to start things off with, let's go with favorite scenes, and then we'll go into quotes, and then we'll do, recasting and some of the other fun topics we cover. So, favorite scene in the movie for you guys?
Okay, I'm not going to go with favorite scene, but I just was liking the 99 was like a golden era
One of
of...
the best years of film ever.
Okay. So, is a golden era of stunts, though, in my mind.
Oh, for sure.
A
because
lot of
there-
practical effects, yep.
It's a lot of that shit that I love of somebody getting shot doing a pratfall, not a pratfall, but a fall off of a thing here. They do some, a lot of the like CGI and stuff like that. They didn't really take away though of the fact that like there's an obstacle here and they're doing a lot of running through the temple as it's or the pyramid as it's coming down.
Right.
It's like it does have that Indiana Jones feel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I like those kind of effects. That's just stuff that I definitely enjoyed during the time. I don't really have a favorite scene. Yeah, I don't really have.
Maybe a memorable moment then, if anything, because there's a great set of characters and arbitrary characters in this movie that I want to dive into a little bit later too.
I mean, I can go if you like.
I don't know. No,
I just don't. I
you
don't
have
have
one. Okay,
like
that's fine.
a favorite.
Okay, that's
scene.
fine.
No, it's all good.
Ryan?
But
I like when I'll start with this one. Evelyn and Jonathan, Evelyn's brother.
Yep.
He's a comedic relief in the movie, kind of like a pickpocketer, drinker,
John Hannah, right?
playboy. I don't know. He's some Scottish actor.
Yeah.
He was good.
I'm gonna look it up.
John Hannah, correct.
Yeah, he's great. They go visit Rick in prison. 'Cause
Yes.
he's the one he pickpocketed Rick, and they want to know how to get to Hymenoptera, and then he punches Jonathan through the bars, and then tells Evelyn to come in closer. He'll tell her how to get to Hymenoptera, and then he sneaks a kiss on her, and is like, "Lady, get me out of here," or whatever. And then they go to hang him, and that whole bargaining with the warden, like he says, like, what he's I don't know.
I'd pay £100
No,
pounds
Yeah,
to
I'll
see
give you
him.
£100 to save his life. Like, madam, I would pay £100 to see a man. That
So
guy-
I mean, before that though, when he's punching him in the face, though, he goes, "Hey, do I know you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I've got one of John and Anna's. Like, I got one of those faces, you
Yeah.
know." Then he fucking clocks him.
and then I'd also go with I love the boat shootout.
Damn it,
I-
that was
you
gonna
know,
be one of my
I'll
favorites.
I'll second that. I would say the boat.
That was a
pretty-
really dope
pretty crazy.
scene.
Yes.
Like it's cool seeing that kind of boat too, where it's like kind of like an old school, like early 1900s, and then like the whole catching on fire and the Americans just like not everybody's jumping off the boat except for them. And they're just sticking around like shooting all the magi or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also Rick, I love the whole thing with throughout the whole movie with Rick and Benny. Like, all right, goodbye, Benny. Like he tosses him overboard, or like, or he's like, hey, Rick, I'm over here. He's like, yeah, you're on the wrong side of the river.
That was great. Great back and forth. Benny, one of my favorite supporting characters.
And then I'll just pick one more since Woj didn't pick any.
Right. Doesn't seem too involved with this analysis. That's okay.
I would go when the moment Evelyn reads from the Book of the Dead and all hell ensues.
Right.
The locusts come out, the mummy taking the guy's eyes and his tongue, and then Evelyn falling through the trap door, then Rick finding her. He's like, where were you? And then they come upon Imhotep, and he like yells at him. He's like, oh, and he just shoots him and thinks he killed him, but did nothing, obviously. And then all the plagues following, all that shit was, I think anytime they're in the tomb, any tomb shit is awesome.
Right. I think for me, the confrontation at the end where she's actually placed on the altar and that whole fight scene that ensues.
It was
some of the other elements, so like all these ghostly bodies come and take his soul, but then all these, dead, call them the dead, rise up and, you know. So I thought that part, but then one of my favorite parts is when Benny's sitting there and he's about to get got, and he's going through all of his different necklaces to try to protect himself. Eventually, he lands on the Star of David, and he starts speaking Hebrew, and it preserves his life. And then he says something later on in the film, and this will kind of curtail to our next segment. He's like, it's better to be at the devil's side, rather than, in his wake, or in front.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I had one more, actually, too. I forgot I wanted to mention. I like the hotel scene after they left Hamunaptra and Rick and Evelyn are arguing, and as they're arguing, he's packing her suitcase and she's unpacking everything he's packing, and they're like having this playful banter, like, we're leaving, we're staying.
He fulfilled his contract.
We are out the door, and we are out of here. Yeah. I don't know. I thought that shit was real fun. Also, when they just threw her in the bedroom, like he's like, all right, boys, who's going with me to get the mummy? And every single guy, like four of them, like, I'll stay here. I don't want to go. And she's like, how are you gonna leave me? This is bullshit or whatever.
She getting all like
he just tosses her in the bed and locks the door behind him. I thought that was really funny. Their dynamic. I say their chemistry in general for the movie is one of the best parts about this movie. I think.
I think it's believable too. I mean,
they're
great
both chemistry.
They're both just, he at the time, dude, he was, a stud, and she's
it's her first
looking
movie,
so good. Yeah,
big international release movie that is.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, and I think it worked because she's like, they see something in each other that they don't have or that they like. Like he's like this brave, treasure hunter guy, even though he's kind of a brute, but he's like honorable.
She's the intellect,
she's the intellect who wants to be more adventurous, and like he respects that she has all this knowledge and wants to go on this mission, even though, she would not be able to fare well in a fight of any kind, obviously.
Right.
Well, she has the curse of knowledge and wanting to explore that, which I'll get into. A problem with the movie at a certain point later when we do the cons or whatever. Okay, so again, in this movie, you kind of like called out the action scenes. That's what I would just say in general. It's like the action scenes were pretty dope. I talked about the practical kind of effects. In terms of like what I enjoyed about the movie was just more like moments, like quick type of things, like O'Connell.
There's a lot of progressions in this movie.
Well, O'Connell just picks up a fucking chair and whips it at Benny as he's trying to get him away.
Jonathan's like, good shot.
And then there's another time where like Jonathan is like, he takes out Rick's gun from his thing as he's taking a shotgun, and he shoots him, and then he
threw it at him. I had to rewind that.
He just throws it after that.
I mean, stuff like that I enjoyed, but yeah, they
worked well off each other. And then I got a Q&A for you guys. I'm not sure if you'll know it, but first I want to mention I liked the dynamic between the American team and their team. After things started to hit the fan, they were able to group up. But I liked that.
Like they had the wager who could make it to Hamunaptra first.
Like I said, that kind of builds to the comedy of it, but they also, learned to work as a team basically to try to keep themselves alive to get out of there. So it was nice to see that camaraderie after, Evie messed things up by opening up the book and starting to recite.
I like how they were, Evie and Jonathan were talking shit about the Americans. They're like, those damn Yanks, no offense. Like they kept saying it to Brendan Fraser, like, oh, it's okay, none taken.
Yeah, right. That was great. Like I said, that banter. Now, Q&A right here. What are the name of the jars that were underneath the Anubis statue?
Oh, man.
Ooh, $1 for any of you guys who know what
like
those jars
were
called.
The Pharaoh's, like, jars. I don't know what they were called.
Canoptic jars.
I didn't know.
Now, I'll give you another $1 if you could tell me what were the faces on the jars. There's
Bobby,
four jars.
You gotta give
four
some.
jars.
Why don't you
Sons of Horus, identified via the faces on the jars.
Why don't you put a little pep in your step?
I'm
when
putting
you're
a little
asking
pep in
question?
this. Hey,
They're like,
we're all in
hey,
6th grade history. This should be.
I don't know. I assume one's like Amon Ra or some shit.
One's a human head. Okay. I'm just going with like, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel unprepared.
That's okay. Yeah, okay, so one's a human head, one is the bird head, one is the monkey head, and one is that dog head.
Okay.
And in each one of these jars, they had 4 organs. I'm not going to ask you which organs they are. Actually, maybe you'll get some of these right.
Well, the one guy had his eyes and tongue ripped out, and then
So-
he got his like whole skin sucked off, and then
What do you think's in each jar? There's only 1 organ per jar.
okay, I assume one's got eyes.
No.
One's got stomach,
liver,
Stomach, yes. Liver, yes.
heart,
No.
heart
lungs.
is kept
Lungs,
out.
yes.
No, they keep the heart.
brain.
Nope. They didn't give much. They even tell you how they got rid of the brain. They scrambled it around and yanked it out through
Kidneys.
their
Yeah,
nose.
it's fucking around.
Not the kidneys.
Pancreas,
Getting close. No, it's
testicles.
The cock.
no, no intestines for the last one.
Oh,
right,
cool.
go figure. But those were sacred to the ancient Egyptians. Anywho,
you can I just make a quick point? If we're
Sure.
gonna do a Q&A, let's give us a little preface, just like, hey, we're gonna do a Q&A here, because I am totally.
I wanted to catch them off
unprepared
guard.
here.
That's okay.
I got a question for you guys.
all right, let's see if I got an answer.
Super unprepared.
This is an easy one. What was your favorite weapon in the movie?
Whatever 6-shooter.
They got. I got notes. I got the. Plane.
Well, you had that bolt
you got
action
you got
from the
the
first
plane.
scene.
The plane machine gun that the dude ripped off the
Oh,
plane.
the one with the cassette there, like that
dual
chain-
dual revolvers. You got the
Mm-hmm.
single pistol, shotgun. You got that sweet sword that the Pharaoh's bodyguards use.
Yeah,
I don't
there
know.
was a lot of fun weapons to this.
Yeah. I personally think I'm gonna go with the shotgun. I always love a good shotgun in a movie or a video game.
trench gun, baby. Go nuts with it.
I don't know.
Double 6-shooters all day.
That shit was pretty sick. The double
Badass.
6-shooters.
Mine was the repeating rifle that the guys on horseback were having. That it
Okay.
won the West, and
I also thought it
those
was.
Henrys could still do it.
I also think it was pretty sick that the guy just yanked the gun off the plane and took it in the tomb with him. That
Yeah,
was
that's the guy I was talking about, Ardith Bay.
So
yeah,
cool.
the guy from Deuce Bigelow.
Could you walk us through the cast real quick, though, Woj, for at least some of the primaries and their names, just because you have it pulled up?
Arnold Vosloo, Imhotep, Kevin O'Connor, Benny, Jonathan Hyde, Dr. Alan Chamberlain, who was in what's the movie with J-Lo and Ice Cube? Anaconda.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was good in that. Oded Fear was also in
Deuce Bigelow.
no, but also in Resident Evil. He's pretty good
Great
in that
movie.
shit. Eric Avari, Terrence Bay, he's in a bunch of shit. That's a guy from like Deeds. He's a guy who likes
Yes.
Wendy's.
He's
Frosty.
he's the librarian
Yeah.
and a secret
Right.
magi, that guy. Yep. He's that guy for me, to be honest. I know we're jumping a category.
Well, you're running the train.
No, I know.
here,
I'm
so-
running the
I said,
train.
are we getting to that?
Well, let's do quick that guy, because
All
that
right.
is my that
'Cause
guy.
that's definitely the winner. It's everyone's boss of the library.
Yeah, that's
Cecil
the
from Mr. Deeds.
Yep.
That's that Frosty treating you, Cecil. Then, like you said, also the Jumanji dad / Hunter. What was his name? The
Dr. Alan Chamberlain, Jonathan Hyde.
Yes, Jonathan Hyde. Then I had the one guy too. Is that guy? The last guy, the American, who got his stuff taken. He had the 2 pistols. He was shooting the zombies.
Oh, yeah, towards...
He's in a tons of things. He's in like X-Men First Class, like the Kingsman movie. He's like the preacher. He's in.
Yeah,
like
he's been in quite
he's
a
in
few
the,
films,
One of the
yeah.
Bourne movies. He's like
think
that
it's
guy you see, who just like one of those faces.
Corey Johnson, Tuke Watkins.
Yes, Corey Johnson.
Corey Johnson.
He's
there
a
it
that
is.
guy as
Good
well.
for him. I would also put in Bernard Fox, Captain Winston Havelock,
Yeah.
Where's he from?
That's a fun.
Titanic.
That's right. He is in
I'm not a
Titanic.
Titanic guy.
Dude, everyone saw Titanic. Everyone has it on VHS too.
I don't remember
like,
the last
way
time
back-
I seen it.
They have 2 VHSs because it was that long. But yeah.
Yikes.
All right.
Sorry, I'm not a 12-year-old girl.
I'm just saying
Dude.
you can't go into Titanic and you go Titanic is a shitty movie.
I didn't say it was. I'm just
No.
saying.
Let me rephrase. You can't.
It's
be
been a
like-
while since I've seen it.
To
that's
me,
all.
you can't be indifferent about Titanic. You either love it or hate it. It's that.
I
type
haven't
of
seen
movie.
it since I was a kid. Since
So
it came
go
out.
see it again.
I
It's-
will. I'm just saying, but
yeah,
like,
all right.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't put it on the equivalence of Twilight, which you could hate, right out of the gate if you wanted to. Anywho, let's go to favorite quotes because I have a few in mind, but I'll kick it over to Ryan and then Woj, and I'll bat cleanup.
All right, I love it when Brendan Fraser's getting hung, and the guy's like, "Any last requests?" He's like, "Yeah, loosen the knot and let me go." And then he looks up at the
He
warden.
looks actually up like,
and
oh
the guy's
shit.
like, he's like yells at him, "No, you idiot! Like, no, of course we can't let him go." And then also, I love when let's see, I'll go with the one that the doctor guy says is like. I got one guy's like, do they know something we don't know? He's like, they're led by a woman. What does a woman know? I was like, oh my
shitting
god,
on her,
Yeah, it's sign of the times.
yeah, it was funny. Also, they literally did the Terminator speech in this movie. Basically, he's like, know this: the creature is the bringer of death. He will never eat. He will never sleep. He will never stop.
Right.
Basically, Kyle Reese like said that almost like pretty close.
Verbatim.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't feel pain, he doesn't feel remorse. That was pretty cool. So I'll go with those.
All right,
Okay.
Woj.
I got when I think it was the captain, the Rex. I'm sorry, Captain Winston Havelock.
Mm-hmm.
I think he says it could be somebody else where he tells O'Connell, you always did have more balls than brains. You know what?
No,
It might have been
Benny
the
says
American.
that. Benny says that. To
Oh,
him.
it's Benny.
When
Benny,
they're
that's
on the
right.
boat, they're looking at Evie. He's like, see that woman? She saved my neck. And he says, you always did have more balls.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. And also going with Benny here, he goes, as soon as he did the whole the sand wall and getting the plan to go, he goes to Imhotep. He's like, I love the whole sand wall trick.
Yeah,
It was
kissing his
beautiful.
ass,
The
yeah.
bastards.
That was great.
It's I love that little Benny jump in there. And then also just a quick shout out though with the warden,
that
Gad
guy.
Hassan, Omid Djali. I mean, he was fucking hilarious throughout the
Hilarious.
movie as well. Though I just had to.
He could be
mention
that
it
guy
in.
too, because he's in a couple other films too. I really enjoyed it. He has a great comedic presence. My favorite was, or one of my favorites was Americans when they're doing the. He says that about the guys like doing the gunfight.
Yes.
And then one of the dudes ends up saving his life because this
Bloody
guy
good
comes out
show.
on fire, and he's like, "Bloody good show," you know. So it was fun seeing that. When she's drunk, Evie, when she's like, I wonder why you're wondering a place like this is doing in a girl like me. That was pretty funny because she's hammered drunk off scotch.
Yes.
And then my last one is intro scene where Benny, he's part of the French Foreign Legion. Your strength gives me strength.
Yeah,
And then he just bails.
He bails.
And then locks him out of like the secured area.
I got one more.
Go ahead,
I
knock
like
it.
when Jonathan says he may have been a smelly fellow, but he had good taste. When they're talking about the booze they find in the guy's bag, the warden.
Yeah.
That shit was funny. Also, that
It was Glenn Livett. Dude.
Yeah.
It's great shit.
Also, the fact when they're going down the tomb, they're like, God, it stinks down here. What is that? And then it's like the guy slowly makes his way down. It's like, oh, it's obviously the warden guy. He's like, never mind. That shit was really funny.
One of my other, it was just kind of a funny aha moment, not great for quotes. He's like, yeah, I was about to get hanged, so it seemed like a good idea because she was inquiring, like, so why did you kiss me? And he just fucking, Han Solo'd it. Like, I guess.
Yo, do you
it was
know
out there.
he fucking had to be resuscitated after that scene?
Oh, so yeah, there is a
Really?
factoid I was going to get to. So the hanging scene, he actually, to some extent, was hung. He
Stopped
larynx
breathing
got,
for a while,
cracked up, and they
They
stopped.
really did that. Damn.
Yeah, he stopped breathing. So what you're seeing on film is him literally struggling to.
I'm sure they had him supported, but it maybe just wasn't supported a whole lot.
But the fact they had to resuscitate him,
That's
clearly,
crazy.
bad safety precautions on set.
Damn.
No
Hey,
shit. Time of the 90s.
you just mentioned, who mentioned Han Solo? Somebody did.
I did.
Yeah.
This guy.
I was going to say, they kind of had like a Luke, like a person, like a Luke, Han, Leia, but like a different way.
In a different way.
Where
yeah.
like Brendan Fraser's like the lead character's Han,
Right.
and then she's Leia, and then Luke's like her brother, but he's more of like a
Beta bitch.
drunk pickpocketing C3PO.
I like him, though.
C3PO.
One of my
I mean,
favorite-
he's a non-fighter, dude. I mean,
No, he's like I say he's more of like the C3PO, but he's like a bad C3PO, like a drunk.
Right.
But he's their brother. He's their
Conniving,
brother.
you
But
know.
Beta.
I kind of just took note of that. That was
Opportunist.
interesting. They had a good like little group, crew. I think they could have honestly had more movies like besides the second one and then the third one. They didn't have the Rachel Weisz for it. They fucked that
Right.
up.
They messed that up.
Like they could have
She
had
was the
their
best
own
part of
like
the-
every adventure like every couple years. Like I would have been in. I don't know.
I would subscribe for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good casting.
All right, so I guess let me dial this down a little bit. What is your favorite supporting character, and what character would you like to have seen more of? Maybe more dialogue or more film time. Now, this was a 2-hour movie, but favorite supporting, so not your main cast, but favorite supporting.
Should I go or you? You want to go with me?
I mean, I'll just go with so Emotep, Arnold Vosloo.
Yeah.
They didn't give him any lines. Like yes, he has a couple,
Well,
but
he speaks like Egyptian.
I
or whatever.
love that though when he's speaking that older language thing. That's kind of one of my cons is that there's a couple times where like the warden is not going to be speaking English very well. You know what I'm saying?
They speak a bunch of different languages. Benny goes through a few, and
but
then
you
the
also
warden
see
too.
like Benny is played by a guy named Kevin O'Connor or some shit like that. Like he's a white. There's a lot of whitewashing in this, and that's where I feel like they didn't. Like I like sometimes in movies like if it's set in Morocco, Egypt, whatever. The majority of the time, English shouldn't be spoken unless the English characters or whatever are speaking.
Right, but in
it.
this case, we do have British and American. So.
Right, it makes sense. Right,
Right.
Plays within. I'm saying the warden, speaking
okay,
very good English is like, what the fuck are you talking about? This guy's not going to be speaking great English here.
Right.
It's
Okay,
gonna be broken.
so some inconsistencies.
I'm
I
just
guess.
saying, like, my main point I went way around is that Emotep in that dead language though, and then give subtitles. Give him more shit that sounds like crazier. Where he's like, if he was like, I'm the god of death.
Right.
Like, I am gonna fuck you up right now. Like shit like that, I think would have been better. They really just gave him like, hey, you're a monster kind of thing. You're screaming at people type of shit.
Well, I was gonna say I think he does get a little more in the sequel.
True.
Which I just watched, so I kind of took note of that as well.
That's what the Scorpion King with
that's actually the Mummy Returns, which has the Scorpion King.
right
in it,
with
yes.
the Rock.
The Rock.
And that was
There
one
was
of his
also
first.
a movie called The Scorpion King.
Yeah, I'm saying from that.
Oh, okay, from that
Spinoff,
Okay.
yes.
Gotcha.
Prequel. I'm going with the warden from the prison. That guy's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking loved him. Fucking, I don't know. He's great. Every time he's just so funny. The way I don't know who that guy is, but I love that guy. He's great.
His name is Omad Giali.
And then second choice, I'm gonna go either. I'll probably go Jonathan. I like Jonathan.
Sorry, let me throw out the captain as well. Not to
Sure.
step on Jonathan, but
Sure, the
Captain Winston Hadlock.
the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Captain
guy's-
Winston
that guy-
Hadlock
I
of
enjoyed
the
his character.
Royal Navy.
And he was just begging for death at this point. Not begging, but he's like, I want to die an honorable death. Like, doing something. He mentions that in the movie, like doing something because all my lads, died in the field. Here am I just getting fat, in this wasteland.
Also,
So-
one of his quotes, though, is that he's standing in the middle of a fountain in the hotel, and he goes, somebody has spilled their drink.
He walked through it again.
I
Yeah,
love it. Sorry.
that's good. Yeah.
My secondary, I love Benny. I know he was used quite a bit. Love Benny,
He's
but also the one Magi dude that's along with him, as
His name is.
I forget the life of me, but he was part of their crew at the end. I wish they would have just involved him a little more. He had a few one-liners and a few,
Are you talking about
scenes.
Ardith Bay, the
Yes.
guy with
Yes.
the paint? Like,
Yeah, the paint under his eye.
Yeah. that's-
Funny mention it
Oded
again.
Theater.
This sequel, they did that again. He was more part of the movie. Like,
So, yeah, like I said, I just that's not a
dude, he's a solid second guy in my mind.
right.
Like,
Exactly.
he's good.
I thought he deserved a little bit more.
He's not the
screen time or
main guy.
dialogue.
No offense, but he works well with the set. Because in Resident Evil, that's the other
Right.
movie that I've seen him in. He works really well as like the. second
I think
fiddle.
the cast of characters and actors, actresses for this one, I wouldn't recast anyone. So I want to go to Nikki or your persnickety things,
Yeah.
then recasting because I honestly wouldn't recast anyone. In this I really liked every actor,
I had three alternative choices.
and then what
But
pissed
they're
you off
not-
about it. Let's go into that.
Okay.
I mean, I would just say this, and I know you guys are going to have a little bit of issue with the recasting. I mean, Rachel Weisz, she's good for the role, but
Easy
you
now.
could have interjected a lot of other
oh no,
women in the 90s into it. I think it would have been fine. So
This is, I think, nostalgia for me. I'm so happy that she, made her big debut.
Yeah.
In this.
I mean, is she a good actress? Yes. Is she attractive? Yes.
She's
but
the
again,
librarian, man. I don't know.
To me, it's not something where I put if she's not in the movie does not work.
It's hard to say.
I'm
Whoever's with Brendan Fraser has to have the same chemistry they have because that's part of the movie that makes it good.
Very
right.
true.
You couldn't put some ditzy person trying to act
but
smart.
there are great actresses in the late 90s that could have.
I think she was good too because she's hot, but they do a good job in the beginning of kind of dressing her down and making her seem not as hot. But then like all of a sudden like she's in the desert.
Once she gets her new clothes because she was thrown off the boat.
Whoa, what happened there?
Thrown off the boat, she's wearing like a traditional black dress garb from. So I like the bartering in that scene too, like him yelling at the guys with the camel.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to pay him, and John's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're.
So I think everybody's good. I just think if we wanted to upgrade a couple of the parts, like the Americans, like the gunslinger guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin is the one guy who does the clicking with the gun, the main long hair guy.
That's a good call.
John Hamm is the glasses gunslinger. I don't know. He's kind of young at that point, but maybe he could be good. And then I got William Fichtner as the last guy with the two.
Pulling out Fichtner.
I love Fichtner, man. He's that guy. He's a great guy.
Fichtner, shout out, dude.
For those of you who don't know, he's the bank manager in The Dark Knight and many other things.
Yes.
Captain.
Prison Break. He's Armageddon.
He's also in the.
He's in a lot of movies.
Longest Yard.
He's a great.
reboot.
Yeah, he's the quarterbacking Longest Yard for the guards.
So, a captain of the prison.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do we want to get into picking nits now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a few on my.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you go ahead. Start.
Okay. Okay.
And then we'll rank it.
The people who killed Imhotep in the beginning, the Pharaoh's guards and shit.
Right.
Why not just destroy the coffin key? Why does it even exist? I don't understand why you wouldn't or try and destroy it. Like I think it made more sense if they had like somebody maybe who was with Imhotep, some guy who like took it and like hid it or something instead of like just. Why would you even make this key? Like keep this key?
I'm just
I can explain behind that, but go ahead.
I was just gonna point out like maybe it's more of the way that the Egyptians, to me, I feel like they saved everything. Nothing was destroyed.
I mean,
everything's
but
preserved.
he was like basically punished in death too. That's why they did the scarab beetle, but they also took away. They said all these amulets or sacred text on his. Sarcophagus was, they aren't there. So there was no protection, like spells or like, words that were like usually on any type of tombs, but they wanted him to be punished in this life and the next. And that's what the curse was. But they're saying if you disturb this curse, he's going to become.
Yeah, but he's talking about the key, though.
I'm saying destroy the key. That way they can't open the coffin. That
Game
way,
over.
Yeah.
But that also opened up the Book of Death, too. So I'm not sure.
Can I go to the Book of Death?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a point on the Book of
Pink
Death.
Pop back to me after.
Pull off your glasses.
Okay. Dude. Bitch, why are you reading it out loud?
Never heard anybody reading a book.
What the fuck? Why are you reading the incantation or spell or whatever?
You mustn't read from the book.
Out loud. And then guess what? As soon as she says those words, like, oh shit, he's awake.
That's kind of true because like,
what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, she is like this smart person who knows.
She's a scholar, but she doesn't know how to read the situation.
But I guess she did. Like, maybe she should have just read it in her head first and been sounded it out. Like, blah blah blah. Oh shit, that's what that does. Maybe I won't say that.
Right.
But that's just it's a movie.
Yeah, but she sparked
I'm just
dynamite. Yeah.
It's literally the kickoff of the whole fucking shit show.
I think this movie would have been way better served using practical effects instead of CGI. CGI did not hold up.
For what the
Scarabs?
It's 99.
Yeah.
No, for the mummy, the main mummy guy. Anytime, even the bugs kind of looked not great.
Any of the plagues.
This is still in its infancy though for CGI.
It's like the problem is this is a time when CGI was getting bigger, but the technology was not where it needed to be yet. It was getting there, but not for every movie. Like the Matrix had good CGI.
I would say like 4 years later.
But this, and this is a time when they were like cutting out practical effects. And I think had you had practical effects like for this, especially for Imhotep, I think it would have.
I don't think you could have done that to his because he had different stages of his regeneration.
Sure,
which
you
would
could
be very
do it.
challenging. To
Watch a movie like The Thing.
The beetle goes in his mouth and ends up like chewing on it.
But I'm just saying, even having a giant hole in your face, I feel like they could have done it well enough. Some of the other stuff, like a whole body, like part missing or the beginning stages, I get that. I'm more talking about the floods of things. The Beatles looked garbage.
Some of the backgrounds, the green screens, you can kind of tell.
Okay.
But
It's like a sign of the times.
It's a movie of its time, yeah. But I was just saying, if I could go back, I think practical effects would serve it better. Like it would last longer. Like it would look better.
All right, I'm gonna go. Go
ahead.
How are the camels out racing horses
Yeah, I don't know.
when they're going to Hamanatra?
Does that happen? Or are they better in the?
I'll say this though: camels have more surface area when they push against the sand. The hoofs on horses are smaller.
Right. I was thinking maybe
surface
some
area.
with the sand because they're used to the sand.
Yeah. So think about this:
Okay.
like the Eskimo shoes. Yeah, you're able to stay on top of the snow because there's more surface area.
I mean, I'll give
Camels
you.
know how to giddy up a little bit.
I'll give you a point because I don't know it. I'm just looking at it like they are way, way ahead. And in the other scenes with like the opening battle scene, horses are fucking flying
booking
through.
it,
It's a
yeah.
little inconsistent.
I kind of wanted to piggyback on what you said before
Sure, go ahead.
about the reading of the book, but before that, when the Magi come and have the shootout at Hamunaptra at nighttime, and then they're like, "Leave this place. You have one day." Why wouldn't you tell them why they're leave? Like, hey, don't fucking open this book.
No,
Don't do this shit.
He didn't want to draw attention.
Hold
to it,
on. I believe he has made it known though before that point that he is the protector of this land.
I know, but they don't
And
know
they don't.
everything like they do. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
but I guess
Yeah,
you're
I
not
guess.
sharing the secrets of a
like,
secret society.
If you're gonna go so,
I
but if you're
understand.
gonna go so far as to like allow them to stay, don't you think if you're gonna give them 24 hours, something might happen if they don't know better? Like they're gonna explore.
I mean, he could have literally.
could even just been like a quick warning, like stay away from the statue, or I don't know.
No, he could have said though
I
something
think
like
less is more. Maybe that's what he was
he.
thinking.
I'm saying he could have said though without giving everything away is like, hey, if you do not leave here by tomorrow morning, you will die.
like and
like-
like you will die and you will have cursed us all, or like
Something like that,
like
to
like
raise
little-
the level of
yeah,
Like one more
intense.
sentence
like,
or so.
like maybe like this place is cursed. Don't you know what happens if you
Right.
unlock these secrets or from this place, or I don't know, some quick like little like line.
So real quick for my persnickety, and then we'll do spin-offs, and then we'll rank it. But
Sure.
persnickety, you had a few scenes where you had these revolvers, shooting out like 10 to 12 rounds, from each revolver, and I'm like, man, dude, like at the time, there's no way that a double action revolver would have more than 8 shots. I think.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, he reloads it in one scene, but
one
I get what
scene,
you're
yeah.
saying. A lot of the times, it's not only Brendan Fraser, but it's every other
it's
cast
everyone with some
that's-
pistols.
that's
that-
running the revolvers.
I think it's kind of like a throwback to those type of movies, like that were like in the
Sure,
the
like
30s
Predator,
and
where,
40s
he
or
never had to
80s.
reload.
Yeah, where
I
it's like,
love that.
You're just shooting and you're always accurate, and you have all these bullets.
I love the use of the different style of guns though throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of different moving scenes.
Now,
Anywho,
did you? Sorry, just real quick. I
Yep.
have a question because you're a gun aficionado. Like, do you know? Like, are those guns within the same time
yes,
frame?
those are actually historically.
Oh, hell
within
yeah,
the
I
same
love
time
that.
frame. So I was like, at least they held true to some.
Yeah. I love that they chose to do it in the 20s and 30s.
It was a cool,
setting.
cool setting indeed.
Great setting.
And the filming. Sorry, I missed one of the filming of getting on the boat. That was filmed in the UK at
Nice.
one of their premier locations.
I
out
had a
there.
quick thing too, really quick. I think the what they call the bugs,
Scarabs.
the scarabs,
beetles. Yeah.
inconsistent the ability of these bugs. They said that they threw him an Emotep when he got buried alive, and then they said that they ate him slowly. That's how he was able to scratch.
Yeah, but
whatever.
then that one
then
dude
the
who
one guy
falls
gets eaten
down,
like
yeah.
seconds, like a scene
So
later.
that's part of my, Yep. Go ahead, Woj.
It's the powers. That's what I looked at it as.
oh, like,
His powers influenced the Beatles to go.
Okay.
that kept him alive longer than the other because
No.
literally like a scene.
No, he's saying his influence over different, because
I'm
he had the
saying
plagues
like
with him.
now he is absorbing people.
Oh, so you're saying he's making the bugs more powerful?
He's making the bugs be able to take down people to their core in,
protect his,
like a second.
okay.
That's just what I kind of looked at.
Because
It
like that one guy,
because-
literally, I seen later. He's on the whatever the thing, and he gets eaten in like 2 seconds.
Right. I look at it like when they went into the sarcophagus or
Okay.
whatever, they're just regular ass scarabs that eventually will eat
Because
a person.
Yeah. Okay. Because at first I was like, how did that guy scratch the inside of the coffin if he got the bugs with him? But then she said they ate him slowly.
Slowly,
But then
yeah.
they had a scene later, like I said, where they showed the bugs eating him quickly.
That's-
So I was a little confused on which one they were not consistent. Like which one they
Right.
were
It's
going
just
for.
to me that's one of the things that I don't get too mad at because I
No,
feel
it's no
like
big deal, but-
no, but it allows you to kind of like I drew my own conclusion
Sure.
about that. Like that's why it is, and that made sense to me.
That's a good thought. I never thought that. I'll accept that.
Goddamn right, you'll accept it.
Imagine Benny being really pissed about getting all that gold and then him getting stuck within. I guess.
He gets fucked by beetles in that, dude.
Well,
No, but I
he
guess
deserved
it's the whole thing. You got greedy because he could have got his filling jetted like he normally does, but he tried to keep doubling down.
Evie says it. She's like eventually men like you get your just desserts or
exactly,
whatever.
Yeah,
something like that. What's coming to you?
Dude, I bet you that was worth thousands of dollars at the time, but would have been worth like millions now. That's just that one that one bag.
And I like the use of the lighting, how it pulls from the suns and just boom, boom, boom.
It's a lot of tributes to like Lawrence of Arabia, those 60s and 50s movies that were set in the.
Well, it's like I mentioned before. That type of Indiana Jones, Uncharted, Tomb Raider, it always works. It's such a cool idea of like exploring jungles, exploring deserts and tombs, especially if you got a cool time like the 20s or 30s where it's like you got some technology but not a lot, but enough, like it's just it works well.
It's a different field. Now let's do spin-offs and then rank it.
Spin-offs and rankings.
Spin-off.
Right. I'll go with a young O'Connell for sure.
Okay.
How young?
Like maybe like 25, like how he's getting into like
before he's in the army or
before he's in the, because I don't even really think he's like really in the army. I think he's just kind of there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's an American
part of the
leading
French
like
Foreign
French
Legion.
for some reason.
So I'm just saying, like, I'm sure his life before that was badass.
Yeah.
I would also just throw the other one out there of like the other types of like people that have gone into Amanoptera and like died trying to like discover it or do stuff like other shit like that. That's like the curse
Would that
of
be more of
Amanoptera.
a few episode series or something?
Yeah, it'd be more of a series, and then you could also do like just brand new casts like every couple episodes or whatever, like smaller episode arcs.
Okay. Right.
I mean, I kind of said it before. Like they could have more sequels with this franchise, like just like them being kind of like treasure hunters or explorers, like in like different tombs, different whatever. They stopped at 3, and they really 2, honestly. But besides that, I think maybe like something focusing on the Magi, that guy's group of the Pharaoh's bodyguards. Maybe like I don't know,
throughout the generations,
how they become them. Maybe defending it over the years. Maybe a specific time other than this time. I don't know, something like that could be cool.
I really liked the cinematography used when they showed Thebes way back when, like 1209 BC or what. But my
Spinoff? What?
Spinoff. Thank you.
There you go. Words.
Imhotep. I would love to see the rise of Imhotep being a chief priest.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not sure. Was he like a street kid who
No, definitely not.
Like I said, I'm not certain on his rise, but it'd be cool to kind of see that, and that'd be more of a series thing. The rise of Imhotep. That'd be something I'd
for sure
tune into.
I think a series would be cool too. The Warden's Prison. I would love it like a comedy.
That'd become as a comedy a little bit.
Comedy series. That'd be great.
All right, now this was available on Peacock, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Peacock and Hulu Premium and Amazon for a couple bucks. I mean, it wasn't crazy expensive, but most of these movies now, I think that we review, they are, unfortunately, there's maybe one service that allows it free. Majority of the time, it's like, hey, you're going to have to pay a couple bucks.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? Pay a couple bucks. The Mummy's a good movie.
Or go to the library. I guarantee they might have a copy.
Yeah. All right, so
borrow from me.
What are you gonna?
So let's go with rankings. Woj, bring it down. Rankings.
Yeah, dude. I'll do.
You can make fun of me in your comment, Bobby. This is.
I'll do an 8.2, solid B minus.
Okay.
There are parts that I really liked. There are some parts that I didn't really hate, so I'm gonna give it, a solid B. I would probably. What are the 3? Rent it, own it.
Rent it, own it, stream it, or skip it.
Own it, stream it, skip it.
Yeah, there it is.
I would stream it if I'm really like I need something to watch. It's like, again, it's a good action flick. I like Brendan Fraser as a lead in it, so
one of my favorite actors.
I'll go with stream it.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
go with stream.
Nice.
Right.
I'm gonna go with 8.6. I think it's a very entertaining and fun story. I think some of the effects kind of bring it down a little bit. It's kind of tough to look at, but it's of its time. But overall, it's a really entertaining movie. It's like a B+ for me, like a good.
And this is quoted for our pre-production. Bobby, this is your favorite movie.
Oh, it is. It was a great movie.
Well,
I gave Inception an 8.7, and like, I think if like, I mean, like, I was trying to like think, do I like it more than that, or is it better than that? And to me, Inception's a better quality, like looking movie and stuff, but this is more entertaining to me, somewhat. So it's kind of like it's close.
So for me, stream it, own it.
And I own it, obviously. I do own it.
Okay. I'm an own it as well. My ranking would be a 9.1. Like you said, there are elements that could be better, like, some of the use of the CGI. But like I said, it's such a fun movie. I think right out of the gate, you're entertained. And
Absolutely.
throughout the whole story, you're, learning more about these characters. And it's just a real fun movie start to finish. There's not a lull, which I like. But and you could actually, track the progress of how things are.
That's a good point.
Chronologically going.
It's like about 2 hours, I think. A
2
little
hours,
over.
just a little bit over. Yeah.
And it's really good, well paced. There's not a lot of
well paced
lulls.
is a great term for it. Yeah.
Even when they're doing exposition, it's entertaining exposition. Yeah, it's good.
All right, well, there you have it, Journeyman Lounge.
Best Bobby's
fans.
pick.
Yeah.
My favorite
Hey,
Bobby
I'm
pick.
on the board.
Stamp of approval there.
And we got who's our next one?
All right, I'm gonna do the next tease here, but I do want to ask a question here. So
Okay.
Question.
we have talked about Sir Denzel.
Yes. Are we starting Denzel theme?
Well, this is what I want to ask is
I'm
that
in.
if we're gonna start a Denzel theme, I think there's one movie and one movie only that we start with, and I think
I know what you're gonna say.
I think you guys would agree with it, right?
I hope you say what you're going to say.
It is what you think I'm going to say here.
Okay.
But my question is
My
that if we're going to start a Denzel theme,
Yeah.
are we going to go Denzel?
Yes.
Let's do 3 Denzels.
Yes.
Absolutely.
3
I'm good with it.
It is decided. So you got to start with Training Day.
Oh yes,
Easy
sir.
peasy.
I knew that was gonna be chosen.
Done.
Love it.
It was honestly a little tougher because Training Day is amazing, but a good second one to me.
I'm going to probably do it.
John Q, man, is
Ooh, that's
solid
not my
to me.
second for him.
I got a couple in my head. I'm
Okay.
deciding.
Yeah, keep
We'll
it
save
in
it, but we're gonna
next
do
pick. So
we're gonna do Training Day though. Denzel at his finest.
Jake Hoyt
and
Officer Hoyt. That's
you know,
my son.
survived by I can't wait.
Ethan-
Can't wait. I
Ethan-
already know. I know this movie inside and out.
Yeah, we'll definitely chop it up on that one. I think
one of my favorites.
that'll be a good one. Also, anybody who's still listening on this, so we got a bunch of shit coming out. We got Instagram.
Yes,
is going to be
Instagram
there.
Live.
We're going to be.
We'll be on the gram.
We're going to be posting a lot of shit like clips here. We're going to do also gaming clips. I'm going to have people send in shit. Let's put it out there. See what people
That'd be
can
fun.
do.
Yeah, throw in some COD clips.
And then also, I will tell you, just as like a little teaser, I'm kind of pretty jazzed up about it. We're gonna have one of mine and my brother's buddy Steve on to talk about watches and shit. He's gonna bring in some pieces, so I'm kind of pumped to see what he's got going on
We're
that.
really
So
classing this up, man.
that's gonna come in. I mean, Journeyman Lounge. We're gonna fit
Yeah.
within the aesthetic. I know we're gonna do a cigar episode as it's
I would
starting
love
to get
that.
nicer.
That'd be great.
But again, this is a great episode. I appreciate you guys' time here to come over, kick it on the Journeyman Lounge. I am 1/3 of your hosting trifecta, Wojenstein.
I'm Ryan. I'm really excited for Denzel theme.
I would say it's the Denzel theme. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited.
And you got Bobby on the corner.
that beautiful Hawaiian shirt.
I love it, dude. White Boy Summer. Let's go.
There we
Mario
go.
Brothers under it. It's sick.
Yeah,
Nice.
Mario Brothers, sure.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to y'all next week. Journeyman Lounge podcast out.
Adios.